These fajitas looking really good. Chicken looks good. Beef ribs look good. Friends, we cooked for less than an hour and a half, made all this food, and it all came out perfect at the same time. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to cook all this delicious food so you can host your own carne asada. If you've ever wanted to learn how to run a single fire like a pitmaster and how to grill a delicious feast for your friends and family, then you're watching the right video. Because we're gonna prep our meat, dial in our fire, and cook up some of my favorite proteins and sides in less than 90 minutes. And by the end of this video, I will have shown y'all step by step how easy and fun it is to bring this whole delicious meal together. Vámonos! One of the easiest ways to prep for a carne asada is to just use an all-purpose seasoning that you love. Today I'm using one that I love, my Arnie's Asada all-purpose boom seasoning. It's great on barbecue and it's great on carne asada. Let me tell you why. It has just the right amount of salt and a little extra pepper for that boom that we're talking about. Now let's get to trimming and seasoning our meat for our carne asada. Let's get fired up. I love bringing finger ribs to the carne asada. It's one of my favorite beef ribs because they don't need a lot of trimming and you don't have to do a whole lot to them. All I'm doing is scoring the back. You don't have to remove the membrane. That helps keep some of the moisture in there. But we do want to score them so some of the rub and the smoke and the grill flavor will penetrate the backside of the rib. You want to give them a nice even coat so you get a nice even flavor. You want to shake that rub on there. You don't want to cake it on. Now you know every carne asada's got to have some Eckrich sausage. This is my wife's favorite, so we're cooking this one today. It doesn't need any seasoning. Now I'm cooking inside skirts for fajitas today. These came pre-butterflied, so I'm just cutting them up in a way that makes it easier to manage on the grill. Most people don't trim this cut of meat. I'm used to doing it for my competition days, and I think it does deliver a much better bite. Now for this cut, it's a very thin cut of meat, so you don't want to over season. You want to get a nice, even little light coat on both sides and you're good to go. Onto the chicken we go. I'm cooking a whole chicken. We're gonna break it down into several pieces. You'll see that at the end. Now I'm just gonna trim a little bit of the excessive fat that the chicken has. I kind of roll it around on both sides and take a quick look and trim whatever looks excessive. For a faster and more even cooking process, I'm gonna spatchcock this chicken. I like to start by scoring it right in the middle of the backbone and then breaking it right down that line. And there you have it, a nice spatchcocked chicken. Now on the inside of the chicken, I like to put just a nice even medium coat and we're good to go. Now on the skin side, I am laying down a slightly heavier coat. The rub doesn't penetrate down past the skin very much, so it's okay to use a little extra. This is great for color, and honestly, if you're a fan of eating the skin the way I am, this makes for an extra delicious bite. And this right here, friends, is about 15 pounds of meat for our carne asada. This will feed about 10 to 15 people, maybe 20, depending on how hungry you are. Let's get that fire started. Vámonos! I'm laying down about 3/4 of a bag of lump charcoal, and I'm gonna add a little bit more as we go because we're cooking open fire and it tends to burn out. Now you also want to lay down some good wood chunks, whatever your preference is. Mine is mesquite, so today we're using mesquite. We want to get all these lit up so you get that little extra flavor in there. Of course, y'all know the most important pro tip for a carne asada is clean the grill with an onion. And don't forget to drop it in the fire for a little extra flavor. All right, friends, we're still dialing in our fire. I'm going to spread it out. We'll be ready to cook here in just a couple of minutes. A couple of pro tips for you guys. You can see I banked the fire over to this side, so it's going to have a lot more heat on this side. The reason is I want a nice medium temperature here to cook the beef ribs and the chicken. Let's get these short ribs on and the pollo. And here's another pro tip. You want to get your thighs over towards the hottest side of the grill or smoker or whatever you're using. That way you don't overcook your breast. By the time the thighs are done, the breast is done all at the same time. All right, so we have our beef finger ribs on and our chicken over here. What you want to do at this point, because we're still running a medium hot fire, just keep an eye on it. We're gonna flip in about a minute or two just to see what it's looking like. That's how you monitor your fire. If it's too hot, you want to do a little flippity flip. Make sure you don't burn anything and get nice even cooking. The chicken should be just fine, but if we have to flip it, we will too. I'm gonna take this big old onion, I'm gonna wrap it in foil, and we're gonna throw it directly into the fire. It's gonna sit there for 30 or 40 minutes. By the time our carne asada is done, it'll be super soft and delicious. All right, our onions on. We got a lot of hot fire. We have some drips of grease here, so you see a little flame action. This is a good time to check. Ooh, yeah, look at that, baby. We got a little sizzle going on. That means we got a really hot fire. We need to flippity flip this one too, because you don't want to burn your meat. Sometimes you want to flip, flip, flip. The fire is going to tame down over the next 15, 20 minutes, so we'll be just right. Let's take a look at our chicken. Ooh, it's doing a little drippity drip action, but it's not that hot on this side, so we don't need to flip the chicken yet. We're just gonna let it sit there and cook nice and slow right over the coals. And while we're waiting for the chicken and the ribs, let's get a couple of more sides on here. We have elote, corn on the cob. So we're gonna lay these down right here, right over the hot fire and let them roast a little bit. After about 10 minutes, we're gonna wrap them, let them sit for a couple more minutes on the cooler side. They'll be perfect. Now here's another ingredient that we love on our carne asada, nopales. These are cactus paddles. And we've got 3 of them here today. So now it's been about 10 minutes and I can see these are roasting really nice, the ribs are, but I need a little more heat over here by my chicken. I'm gonna get a nice big chunk of coal over here and another nice big chunk of coal on this side here so we get nice even cooking on our chicken. Should be good to go there. Now the ribs are doing perfect, so we're just gonna let them marinate there for just a little bit longer. I'm gonna roast up this little bit of garlic. We're gonna drop it in our guacamole, so we need to get it going now. All right, I can see my meat sweating through the membrane back here, so I think it's time to do another flippity flip. I can tell it's a little bit hotter in the back, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip this one, put it toward the front, and I'm gonna flip this one too, but I'm gonna put this one in the back. Oh, looks like it's about the same heat. Look at that. Gorgeous. Now let's take a quick look at this chicken. What does that look like? Looking good. No need to flip yet. We have just the right amount of heat here. This chicken is cooking nice and slow. After it's about halfway done, we're gonna flip it over and give that skin a nice little char too. Right, let's take a quick look at these nopales because we got a nice hot fire over here and I can see how they're sweating. Y'all see that? Yeah, look at that, beautiful. They're roasting really nice and pretty quick too. Let's go ahead and flippity flip our corn over here. It's getting roasted up pretty good too. Check that out. All right, amigos, like I said in the beginning, getting your fire set just right is really, really important. And a lot of that comes with experience. You want to get it just right. And you also want to time each of your proteins and other ingredients to come out at about the same time. I know we have a really hot fire here, so I can roast my corns, I can roast my nopales here, but we had a medium fire here and a little cooler fire over here on the left side. So everything's coming along really nice. I'm very happy with the fire, the way it's performing right now. And as I said, we're gonna flip the ribs one more time. These are roasting so nice, look at that. All right, let's stack these nopales. They're pretty much done. We're making room because we got more protein coming out. So let's stack these up right here. We're gonna move our corn over here to the back where it's not quite so hot either. Let's get the veggies on here. We get some tomatoes, some tomatillos, a couple of serranos, of course. We gotta have some heat, man. So we're gonna put these on here too. A couple of habaneros. Yeehaw! We're gonna get some really hot salsa going here. And we're gonna get our onion as well. A little bit of lemon and lime. We wanna roast those. What it does, it really makes that moisture expand in the cells. And when you squeeze it, all the juice comes out. Plus, it has the added flavor from the fire. All right, let's get these cebollitas on here too. This is always part of a carne asada as well. Let's get some sausage on here. Start sweating that out, getting it all cooked up, making it look delicious. I'm gonna put these right over here by the chicken where it's not super hot. It's just right. We're gonna get some fajitas. And we're gonna lay these right here, right over the very, very hot coals here. Let's check out our veggies here, the tomatillos and the tomatoes. They're pretty close to the really hot fire. They're gonna start cooking. They're roasting really nice. These serranos are looking pretty nice. Check that out. Time to flip these ribs one more time. Look how they're sizzling to perfection, just gorgeous. These are coming along really good, these ribs. We're gonna rotate this corn one more time. Flippity flip it. One, it's cooked nice and even. There we go. Friends, we've been cooking for 30 minutes. The ribs are coming along really nice. The chicken's looking perfect. We've got fajitas and sausage on the grill now. Now in a little while, the ribs are gonna get wrapped in foil. The corn's gonna get wrapped. We're gonna make a salsa. Fajitas are gonna finish cooking. We're gonna flip the chicken. It's all gonna get done at the same time to perfection. These fajitas should be ready for a flippity flip. You can see the moisture up here on top. You don't want them to drip too much. You want to keep that flavor and the moisture inside the meat, so we're gonna flip them. Yeah, that looks great. These will be done in no time at all. You can see this tomato here, it's bubbling and bubbling. It's almost fully cooked. It's ready for the blender. All right, let's take a look at our sausage. Coming along nice and slow. That's getting a nice little color. You don't want to cook sausage too hot and fast because then it'll burst. We want to cook it nice and slow. Put a little sear on there. That'll be perfect. Our salsa ingredients look like they're pretty much done, you can see. So I'm gonna start getting these into the blender already. We're gonna get the chiles in here. Got my habaneros. I'm gonna get these lemon and lime off. And we're gonna whip up a really delicious and spicy salsa. We call this a salsa taquera. Let's flip these fajitas one more time. They are ready to get flipped. These are done. It's time for round 2 on fajitas. While that's going on, I'm gonna put these on top. Here's a pro tip. This is a thinner cut, so we're gonna set this on top so it doesn't overcook. All right, we're gonna get these out of the way so I can get these wrapped up really quick. And I like to wrap these ribs meat side down. That way all the juices from the beef ribs marinate the meat while it's sitting in those juices, and we get that extra flavor. I'm also gonna wrap my 3 elotes right here. They are ready to get wrapped. These are pretty much done. They just need a few more minutes. We wanna keep them moist and tender. We're gonna wrap them all up right here. Let's wrap up our nopales. We're gonna wrap them all together here, right over the beef ribs, and just kind of set them aside over here where it's not too hot. They're gonna be perfect. If these fajitas are done, we're gonna wrap them up, set them aside, and get some more fajitas on the grill. Now, before I go get some more fajitas, let's take a quick look at the sausage. Remember that we had them over there where there wasn't a lot of heat, so I'm gonna put them right here, give them a little bit of char while I go get the other fajitas. They should be perfect. All right, I think it's time to flip that bird too. Look at this beautiful color. Now remember, we have the thighs and the drumstick facing towards where it's hotter, so we don't overcook our breast. It's coming along really nice. That little slow cook is gonna keep it nice and juicy. All right, we've got the sausage right over the coals where it's just a nice even temperature, where it's got a nice hot fire. We got a little roast going on there. We're gonna leave them on there a couple more minutes. We're gonna put them right up here and let them continue to cook right over the fire. Let's get these fajitas on. This is the last batch. We're getting ready to eat some really good carne asada, friends. Now our fire has started to die down a little bit. That's why I started with a big fire. We have just the right amount of fire. It's still plenty hot to finish cooking up these fajitas and the sausage. We're pretty much almost done anyway. We've got all of our salsa ingredients in the blender. All we have to do is add a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic in here. I'm gonna call that about a teaspoon, more or less. Our ingredients have cooled down now for about 15 minutes. We're ready to blend. I like to pulse it a couple of times first to get all the ingredients all together. Now we can kind of give it a little bit longer pulse. Now if you leave it on blend, on high, you're gonna get a real fine, smooth salsa. I like a little chunk in mine. So I just give it a few pulses. We're good. And you know what? You can't forget, I almost forgot, we also need to squeeze a lime in here. All right, let's pour all this salsa in here. Now look at that. That nice chunky texture. That's the way I like my carne asada salsa right there. Let's give it a taste test. Ah, I know it's hot. It's very hot. It's got a good bite, but it's addictively good. Time to flip our sausage. It's just about perfection right now. We had just the right amount of heat for that, so we are good to go. We're also ready to flip these fajitas, so let's give them a little flippity flip. You can always tell because you start to see that moisture up there on top. We've still got just the right amount of heat to get these done. So I'm moving the ribs over here. They are done. I want to get a little more char on my chicken here, so I'm gonna lay this right here where it's a little bit hotter. And I'm gonna rotate these corns, make sure they don't cook unevenly. Okay, we're gonna get our garlic in it. We have 4 roasted garlics. We're gonna mash those down. So we're gonna drop a little salt, pepper, garlic in here. I'd say that's about a half a teaspoon. Let's get this avocado here and scoop it out. Now in Spanish, we call this el oro verde. These are green gold because they're expensive on top of being delicious. We have our salt, pepper, garlic. Time to smash avocados here. Make a guacamole. Yumbly and the tumbly coming right up, friends. So I like my avocado a little extra creamy. My wife likes it a little chunky, so we're compromising somewhere in between. All right, let's give it a taste test. That's good. Friends, have you ever had roasted garlic in your guacamole? If you haven't, you need to try it. It really adds an extra element and dimension of deliciousness. You will love it, I promise. All right, now our chicken's been on skin side down for a little while. We have our drumsticks that look like they're done. I can tell just by looking at them, but I always want to double check. We're looking at 160, 180 on the thighs. Let's see where our breasts are at. 160 on the breast side. That's a perfect chicken. It's time to pull it. We've been cooking for exactly 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's time to get everything off the grill and dig into our carne asada. So we're gonna start by carving up our chicken. Let me show you how easy it is to get several cuts out of one bird to feed several people. Take off the drumsticks first, and there's several ways to do this. You can do it any way you like. I like to do it this way. I like to get the drumstick, the wings. So now we're gonna carve the thigh off. Look how quick and easy that comes off. Let's put the thigh on this side. Comes right off at the joint. All right, we're gonna get our drumette off right here. Look for the joint. It's That's right there. Gonna cut the breast in half right there. And I like to cut the breast across like this. That way we get several pieces. And so we're gonna do that. All right, let's cut up some of this sausage. I like these pretty diagonal slices. All right, let's get all of our sausage over here on the side. Now it's time for our beef ribs. Now these have a little knuckle down there in the bottom, so you kind of gotta wiggle your knife around a little bit. Find that right perfect spot. Look at that. All right, time to slice up some fajitas and stack them on top of each other. Let's get them all sliced up for tacos, nice and thin. Remember, these are inside skirts, so we want to cut them thin across the grain, not with the grain. These fajitas looking really good. Chicken looks good. Beef ribs look good. That egg sausage looks good. That's what I call a big old pile of fajitas right there. I'm gonna put these up here right here. All right, here we go. We got our nopales. We're gonna cut them nice and thin, taco style. This is what you call a nopal asado. They're delicious, and as I said, it is a superfood, in case you didn't know. Friends, we cooked for less than an hour and a half, made all this food, and it all came out perfect at the same time. I'd like to encourage you to cook, host, try different things so that you can host your own carne asada. Now, a big old pile of food like this is also called a parrillada, and you can get that recipe in my cookbook, ArnieTex, with over 100 recipes of Mexican-American cooking and Texas-style barbecue. You can get that wherever cookbooks are sold. There's also a link in the description of this video. And friends, just want to give another shout out. Take a look at how beautiful all this meat turned out using our Boom seasoning. You can get my Boom, OG, Wow, as well as my Mexican rice seasoning at pitmaster.us. Soon to be ArnieTexasada.com. Now I'm only gonna take one bite for the camera because I gotta start warming up some tortillas. I got some people on the way and we're running out of time. Yeah. Perfect. Boom.